Good morning. Hello world. Hello people I know and people I don't. I guess I'm hoping this one goes viral. Just as a quick explanation, this is a direct letter to Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of Google. What it's about is that last night I was trying to make a hangout. It was to do with the sun tracking on the 21st of December. It doesn't matter if you don't think that's interesting. It's something that I want to do and I need YouTube to do it. It is a worldwide grassroots information gathering. But that's not the point. That's not what the video is about. The video is about YouTube being destroyed by Google. Now, my streaming rights were taken away last night, but not in any fashion where I can actually appeal it, because it was just perfunctorily taken down. The hangout that I did was shut and I was banned from streaming. But I had no community guideline strikes, I had no content strike, no copyright strike, I had no notification, I had no email of a takedown. It was simply shut and the function disabled for me to stream, which I'm going to need to be doing all week up until the 21st. I need that streaming every day. Now, this is wildly unfair whether you care about my little science project or not. This is it for YouTube. This is your opportunity to get behind something. Now, because I have no way of contacting Susan or Google, I don't even have an email because I don't monetize my account. Because of that, Susan Wojcicki, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name properly, you must receive this video letter, which is addressed directly to you, the main subject of which is that you must re-enable my streaming function on my channel, the Wobbly Boost one. Here is the letter. I will make a copy available. I'm happy to email it to you if you send me an email address that I can actually email anybody from Google to, but specifically you, Susan Wojcicki. I'm not making fun of your name, I find it quite cute. Here is the letter. A direct message to Susan Wojcicki. A direct appeal to Google and its subsidiary YouTube to re-enable streaming on a strikeless account, being my account, which has no strikes on it, but nonetheless has had streaming disabled. This would be the title of an email that I would send to Google if there was an email I could send them an email to, if they actually showed me one when I tell them I want to appeal or ask for support or click on the help. I will spare you going through that. It's just the product of opening endless pages that don't have what you want on them. Kind of like walking into a supermarket full of cheese when you're allergic to cheese. Anyway, let's go on. A direct message to Susan Wojcicki. You must acknowledge receipt of this letter of appeal. A direct appeal to Google and its subsidiary YouTube to re-enable streaming on strikeless account. I'm also going to be asking for replies to very straightforward, pertinent questions that not just me, but millions of other YouTube creators are asking at the moment. So let's roll. Last night I was attempting to inform people of a fun and interesting worldwide science project to track the actual transit of the sun with sundials to compare it to official sources that inform people of the sun and moon's activity in their regions, particularly the rise, noon and set and actual compass direction of those phenomena. As experience has shown us that the official version of these movements, as displayed on websites like timeanddate.com, are horrendously errant for something as vital to daily life as where the sun is, where you live. The whole point of YouTube's existence is a free-to-access information source of people on the ground all over the world that is free of corporate or political censorship. And this forms part of the agreement Google is under to manage the company, which puts Google in direct breach of contract, wherein CEOs may face steep fines or jail time, and Google being forced to relinquish its contract or replace its entire board of directors and all its CEOs. Either or, I digress. However, as the destruction of YouTube's charter as TV by the people, for the people, free of corporate censorship and elitist paywalls that obstruct or deny information or content creation or support, which is paraphrasing of course, but here's that quote again. However, the destruction of YouTube's charter as TV by the people, for the people, free of corporate censorship and elitist paywalls that obstruct or deny information or content creation or support, and free of constant, horrendous, unabated criminal, corporate and free speech law breaking by Google that never gets further than a robot or the front desk, let alone to criminal court, except when Google breaches contract with another enormous corporations. And of course, I digress here just shortly to say that Google is never made to change their habits. They're never made to change the way they go about business, which I am saying is criminal. They never get told to change it when they're sued by these other corporations. They just take buckets of money off them. And guess who's paying for that? That's right, YouTuber. You guessed it. Well done. Have an apple. Okay, let's go on. This is why there is serious concerns about Google's fitness to run any social media in its existing form, with very serious allegations of corporate, political and military corruption and the resulting of censorship of free speech tailored to suit those vested interests on what is a platform of free speech. It's a free speech interface, people. It's supposed to be. And it's being hijacked. Anyway, we'll get to that later. As I say, we'll get to that later. Okay. Now directly to Susan. Firstly, because my account has had live streaming disabled, but not by any of the reasons listed that one might have their live streaming disabled, I have no way of contacting YouTube Google to remedy this. I have the option that isn't. That is an option that isn't. That means not an option. I have the option that isn't of leaving a comment in the forum that may or may not get answered at all, and if it is, it could be weeks, and then it will be a not answer with a not solution that will affect exactly zero change in Google's march towards YouTube's destruction, and not help me at all, because then it'll be a week late and I'll have missed the sun tracking. There is literally no contact point for me because I choose not to monetize, because uncensored truth is more important to me than money. I don't say that as any kind of thing to say that I'm better than anybody else. It's just how I choose to do it. It's how I choose to use that free interface. There is no contact point for me because if I was monetized, I could join the, I don't know, whatever group, whatever name they give it, or I could become a total YouTube hero, and be a real thought Nazi, and I would actually be able to email a real human being about my YouTube concerns and be answered on the same day. Imagine that. All I have to do is join the YouTube thought police. Heroes. Zeros. Anyway, let's go on. I'll try not to digress. This is an official letter, by the way. So there is literally no contact point for me because I choose not to monetize because uncensored truth is more important to me than money. So, this is my only avenue of appeal, and you must acknowledge the receipt of this video format appeal by email. I will put my email in the description. Okay. So this is the first thing I actually demand of you, Susan. This is instant action I demand of you, and the rest are statements that I request of you. Okay. So first up, please demanded instant action of Susan Wojcicki. Please re-enable my streaming feature immediately, as you are currently in breach of contract. You can also be sued for interrupting a grassroots information gathering project, aka the sun tracking, and illegally censoring free speech for no good reason. The requested statement of Susan Wojcicki. There's several of these. Please state clearly whether you intend to make YouTube a commercial accounts only platform with heavy commercial censorship, aka ad friendly, which we now see means censored by all vested interest in Google Corps, including incorporated governments. So if the answer to that is yes, it's quite a direct, clear question. This will result in the instant loss of over 2/3 of your creators who currently make content for your corpse for free, which you then turn into cash through ads, obviously. So I think in Black's law this process is considered theft. So I'll give you time to think that one through. I'm giving you 4 weeks to reply. But this instant action must be taken today. Re-enable my streaming feature. So where were we up to? I think in Black's law this process is considered theft. Someone look it up for me. So I'll give you time to think that one through. Black's law is easy to read. Sorry. I will digress no more. Please further state, does your corporation have ties to the military establishment, intelligence agencies or military companies or companies under military control? Do you have directives pertaining to censorship and account vetoing based on the creator's expression of political, religious or scientific knowledge or beliefs from the above mentioned institutions? To make that clear, I'm saying, are you being forced to destroy YouTube by powers above and beside you? Okay? And is there direct involvement by intelligence agencies in your company? But anyway, the question stands alone. That's what I want answered. Please, would you please state your views on that question? Please further state, are your Orwellian censorship regimes, which do not correspond to its own stated rules, come as a directive from government or the commercial agreements you have with other corpses? It's my word for corporations, large ones. Does either of the above affect the vetoing of channels on purely commercial or political grounds? And further, does this sometimes result in bending or breaking of your own guidelines, thereby breaching a commercial contract with your creators, which is punishable by a law? 2 more of these. Please further state, are you aware that changing rules and guidelines in a financial contract with a person without notifying them is a breach of contract and punishable by law? You not only notify them, but you have to actually get their agreement, neither of which you do. Are you aware that changing rules and guidelines in a financial contract with a person without notifying them or obtaining their agreement is a breach of contract and punishable by law? Do you understand by this I'm referring to monetized content creators? Are you aware that many channels have been shut down or had their income markedly reduced by this very strategy? which means millions of people can sue you. Sorry for digressing. Are you aware, we're here by the way, are you aware there is rife roboticized censorship, arbitrary copyright claims, the use of copywrought, my word, to force ads onto unmonetized channels, and blatant overreach of a said, and that this is often entirely baseless, and the appeals process is seemingly deliberately time-consuming, futile, and ignorant of reality. Finally, please state, and this is important, precisely where and to whom should I serve a summons or intent to sue Google? Firstly, here in Australia, and secondly, the USA headquarters. Can you guarantee said legal notice will be received, and it won't be just some old lady who screams, "We can't confirm or deny this is Google"? Sorry, I digress, but that really happened. Ask Math Powerland. Thank you for your time, and please remember, as an executive representative of Google Corp, you are legally obliged to answer the questions honestly and to the best of your knowledge. I consider 4 weeks as plenty of time for you and your $1 million an hour legal team to honestly answer my questions. The re-enabling of my streaming function, however, needs to be instant upon receipt of this video letter to keep good faith to your contract with me and avoid legal action as outlined above, which means re-enable it today, please. If you understand the spirit of the egalitarian charter of YouTube as it was originally, and the spirit of this letter, you will dispense with the no fault, admit nothing, deploy deniability, lawyer jargon in your reply and face the actual issues here and respond to them. I dispense temporarily, in good faith, my right to use the wording of your reply as cause for legal action in itself, in the verdant hope of obtaining the actual truth. However, a string of meaningless legalese that is a direct obfuscation of the truth and all my fair and direct questions voids this good faith gesture of trust. I am looking for honesty. If you're not going to be honest, then I can use the words against you legally. If you're going to be honest and open and actually reply to me as a person without guarding your reply with legalese, then I won't use any of it legally against you. Okay? I hope that's clear to you. I'll just read it one more time. I dispense temporarily, in good faith, my right to use the wording of your reply as cause for legal action, in the verdant hope of obtaining the actual truth. However, a string of meaningless legalese that is a direct obfuscation of the truth and or my fair and direct questions voids this good faith gesture of trust. The world waits for your reply, Susan. If you're here to cash in and destroy all that is open, free and independent of massive corporate corruption, coercion and censorship, then for the love of the internet just say so. And say goodbye to your free ride on other people's creative talent you don't pay them for. Wishing you all the best and much love should you understand the concept well enough to receive it. Yours faithfully, Trevor Budd, creator name Wobbly Boost, and that's the name of the channel which I am asking you please to re-enable my streaming. Reply required, instant action required. And that's that. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll do a video later that's about a bit more of it. That's my direct letter to Google and its CEO, Susan Wojcicki. Have a good day.